white over the front, and then got the whole nice.
Yeah, I mean ours basically supplements it. It deals a little bit what we would do in emergencies and how we would respond to the EOC in case it was a regional emergency. So pretty basic stuff. Nothing.
That's good to have.
Nothing profound.
Listen, I was bringing his shirt back to Lou. Can he have it? We kept buying. I said, Lou, I washed it.
How are you?
He said,
I'm good.
no, he wants to, like in the parade and like when we worked at the golf thing, he wore it. And he said, see if I can.
Gary, how many years have you down here now? 8?
7.
The other day, I was talking to somebody, and they were asking about my history with the town. I don't remember who it was. And I just got thinking about you. I remember.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, when Rita and I narrowed it down to you and the other fellow from Sioux City, Iowa. And I remember people pulling me aside saying, the whole board agreed on the same person. I said, yes, they did. Because there was
Missing a good game.
Oh, are you getting the play-by-play?
There was definitely
Unfortunately.
some strong personalities.
Yeah. You've done a good job here.
I appreciate it. I remember when after I think it was after the phone interview, I started doing some research. And I think I pulled up the annual report and I read all of the board members. That was before I knew. They were all PhDs,
Yeah.
lawyers, and
Oh my.
I think
Triplets.
Triplets talking, yeah, all
Eddie-
at one
Actually,
time.
we're talking all of
I
them.
believe
They're so cute. They grow up too fast.
She'll catch on fast.
still PhD.
She'll be talking
James,
way
lawyer.
before the other ones.
Every bit of it.
Joel.
Crazy.
It was good, didn't it?
That I
What about great?
I've seen him running once. I haven't talked to him in a long time.
He's one of those guys I run into all the time.
It did.
He's like,
Until I just got in here.
Beat me in this night. Boy, there's something here. Yeah. Hey, Dot, how you doing?
I think she does.
How you doing? Doing well,
Yeah,
doing well.
didn't she work for
Cool down, boy. It's warm out there.
It's at night and day. I mean, it's in the morning when I get up, when I go to bed, it's all the time. Could be sinus.
You got allergies?
Didn't think I did, but maybe I did.
I never thought I had sinus issues until I moved here. Now I moved here, I feel like I got them all the time.
And you got 2 kids in daycare.
Yeah, that tends to help
That's
too.
your
Two
biggest problem.
snot-nosed kids in daycare.
Looks like they might get the building.
Well, a lot of things have to be done.
Yeah, didn't they get the approval from the?
Wasn't it?
They haven't gotten any funding approval yet internally. They haven't even been bought yet. They're still in a big battle over whether that's going to happen. Oh, gosh, yeah.
I thought I saw something in February.
DHS,
I'm sorry.
some of the HMA boards, and Price and shareholders are Price. And
That was out loud, wasn't it?
Not quite 7 yet, so.
Yeah, oh, it's a
There's nothing
battle
taping yet.
royale.
Not until the mayor says it's
Right
up.
down there. Everyone's still shocked. The local people, they want funding so they can keep it.
Good evening, everyone. This is the Board of Mayor and Alderman meeting for August 22nd, 2013. We have a quorum, so we'll start by rising for the invocation to be given tonight by Steve Peak of Concord, First Baptist Concord, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Dear God, I'm honored tonight to get to live and to work and to have the opportunity to have fun and recreation in the town we call Farragut. I want to thank you for everyone in this room tonight who works faithfully to help our town grow in many positive ways. Thank you for our mayor, all the aldermen, all the church, all the town staff who strive to keep our standards high, so that wonderful businesses are able to come and succeed in the betterment of our town. Thank you for an outstanding education system, both our public and our private schools, and all they do to prepare our next generation to carry on the great freedoms that we enjoy. Thank you most of all for the opportunity to be in a growing community where our churches and our schools and our businesses have an opportunity to grow and succeed. Thanks for new neighbors and friends who come to our community because of new homes being built. And I would ask that you'd give this team direction tonight as they strive to make wise decisions that will allow our community to continue to grow. And I ask you, most of all, to help our leaders to always make good decisions so that our town can continue to be known far and wide as a place where people are proud to call home. Thank you for all you do in and through our lives each day. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Steve.
Beautiful, Steve. Thank you.
First item is approval of the agenda. It's rather short. I
Motion to
suggest-
approve.
I'll second it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Next item is the mayor's report, and Farragut Business Alliance is going to give the mayor's report.
Okay. I'm David Purvis, live at 605 Warrendale Drive. I'm also president of the Farragut Business Alliance. Who's in control of this, you or me?
Maybe nobody.
Oops. What happened?
I think maybe you better be in charge, Alice.
I don't know.
I hit the next slide button. Should I hit the arrow button? Just drive it, Allison, whatever. Next slide. Okay, big picture impact. We've had a pretty successful year as Farragut Business Alliance. Allison will get into some more details, but I feel like we've been fairly successful in what we're doing. As you can tell, we've redefined our mission statement, and we've redefined it to narrow the focus. Back one.
You did that.
I didn't? Okay, here, I'm not touching it. I'm not touching it. Okay, Farragut Business Alliance advocates for the Farragut business community in the political and other processes and promotes these businesses and the town through Shop Farragut branding and community events. Basically, we've gotten involved in the process of ordinances being drafted and how it impacts businesses and how we can benefit how it'll benefit the business community or give feedback to the town about those, as well as doing the Shop Farragut program and our special events. We've got a number of things that are going on. The Farragut Forums, which are some samples are, we did a social media 101 class here at Town Hall, some search engine optimization for about your websites. We did a state legislative update with some of the legislators here to present their positions, the future of healthcare and its impact on business, and then the state of education in Tennessee. We've got another one coming up. I think it is October 10th with Gary Wade, who's the state Supreme Court Chief Justice, State Supreme Court, which will be a really nice event. So I'd encourage everybody to attend on October 10th. We have been doing mingle and meets, which are our sessions where we get people together and it's not about networking, but it's our business meeting where we can talk about what's going on in town, how we can present things, and to present things that are occurring, like whether ordinances are being drafted. So we have those not on a real frequent basis, but infrequent, and we have some struggles there because it's hard to get people to show up, to take the time to do it. We've been doing additional workshops and communication information forums and special events. We participate in the hotel motel tax ordinance and making recommendations to the town on what needs to happen there, and a forum for people to give their feedback. We've participated in the architectural review on metal buildings, and then participated in reoccurring events such as the farmers market, the town planning sessions, and the growth planning. Thank you. We've also been engaged in some conversations with the Knoxville Chamber Partnership. We're trying to get a seat at the regional table to talk about what economic development is occurring in the greater East Tennessee area and how that'll impact Farragut. We've met with David Smoke and town staff along with them, so we're trying to participate in what's going on with the regional economic development. We also coordinated and co-sponsored a reception at the ICSC International Conference for Shopping Centers in Las Vegas, along with some town staff, and we had 40 or 50 different developers, retailers attend that meeting. So we felt it was successful. It's the first time we were ever doing that. We've also participated in the Dogwood Arts Festival and got engagement there with the Art in the Park event, and so we're getting some regional focus on our art event here in Farragut as part of Dogwood Arts Festival. We're starting to see that we're getting attention on a larger regional scale because we've actually had some attendees from Michigan this year who are scoping it out to bring in other artists for next year. So we're getting a little attention on some of our events. We've met with and participated with the Loudoun County Economic Development Agency, over current issues with the town, is partnering with them on the Watt Road Dixie Lee revamp. What do they got going in recruiting? How we can participate and help with their recruiting efforts, and to hope to develop our community as a stronger residential area. We visited with Visit Knoxville and Oak Ridge Rowing Association, and we partnered with them to try to recruit 14,000 visitors into our businesses into our area. This next slide sort of spells it out. Apathy is not a virtue. We've had a struggle with our meet and mingles and getting people to attend, trying to get engagement from our business community. Not everybody sees the benefits of participation and all the things that are going on here. We've done a lot of the meetings in these forums and have had lighter attendance than we would like. And these are high-quality forums with high-quality speakers. We struggle to get people to get engaged, to understand what they can learn and what they can do to help promote their business and to gain more knowledge about what's going on around them. The other major challenge has been trying to build the Shop Farragut brand. We have spent approximately $27,000 in advertising around Shop Farragut, and Shop Farragut, as it was under the town, had a total budget of about $7,000. We took that over. The town gave us that budget, but we've expanded that budget to try to market more about the Shop Farragut app. It's a smartphone app, and to draw traffic to that app, which in turn, all our businesses that participate are on there. They can put coupons and deals. It's a very nice, it's a nice piece of technology, but we're having a hard time getting them to get engaged in it, but also we're having a hard time getting people to drive them to the app because we're spending a fair amount of money on advertising, but it's not enough. And that's where we're struggling to try to find the money and the effective venues to promote Farragut through the Shop Farragut program. So that's one of our things. One of our hurdles over the next year is, one, getting more engagement from our businesses, and two is just try to figure out budgetarily how we can drive the Shop Farragut brand in a more effective way. Allison, there's the little remote thing.
I'm going to turn the little remote thing off because I think it's wreaking havoc with Allison over there.
You should be fine now.
Oh, you think?
Mm-hmm.
Are you driving or am I driving? Am I driving?
Try it out.
Okay, drive. Oh, look, it worked. Yay. Okay, so David provided more of a top-level overview. I'm going to give you a little more of the detail. I want to talk a little bit about staffing. Obviously, there's me. I'm paid as a part-time executive director. It's a contracted position. We also are really, really thrilled to have a gal by the name of Stephanie Erb helping us as a volunteer event coordinator this year. She relocated to Farragut from Texas last August and owns an events company, not weddings, not that type of events, but corporate events, community events, nonprofit events. So she has brought, just really breathed some fresh air into some of our events, some great ideas. The kids piece, if any of you went to Art in the Park at Campbell Station on the Saturday, we had over 400 kids in the park painting. They were painting giant beetles, and they were doing handprints, and we had a flying silks artist that everybody was watching. They got to visit with the individual artists. A lot of engagement, and that was her baby. Brought a lot of neat things to Red, White, and Blues. Unfortunately, we were drowned rats on that night. Had we not been, we had a zip line coming in for some really fun activities. But even with that, the engagement factor was certainly up there due to her efforts. She's bringing in some great ideas for Taste of Farragut. We're super excited about Taste of Farragut this year. We anticipate between 1,500 and 2,000 people. A lot of the newer businesses in town have already committed, and I think I'll talk to that a little bit later. But so it's nice to have that assistance, especially since she's a volunteer willing to do that to help us. It's certainly helped kind of spread my workload quite a bit. And I'm also excited to tell you that we have a student from Farragut High School who selected us to work with for her 100 community service hours. So what we have her doing is comparing the Town of Farragut business license list with the FBA participant list, figuring out who's not on the website, who we need to get on the website, and she's making that happen for us. So we're really excited to have her involved and grateful for her assistance as well. We've also been able to engage about 130 different volunteers over the last year and a half between our primarily through our community events, but also through the Shop Farragut booth that we do at the Knoxville Open, and we just did it this past weekend. Thank you, Vice Mayor, for helping. I believe Jeff helped cover a shift as well, and David did. David Purvis did. Several people in the room were there to help us. But we usually have between 35 and 40 volunteers from the community who come and help us staff that booth and give their business a little bit of exposure, so we're grateful for them as well. Locally, David kind of spoke to the regional economic development initiatives. I want to talk a little bit about what we're doing locally. Hold on one second, please. Okay. We actually were a named participant on American Express's website for the Small Business Saturday program last year, and they've already approved us to be involved with that again this year. That provides some wonderful free social media advertising to any business who signs up. It's a 2-minute process. They sign up, they get, I think it's up to $100 of free pay-per-click advertising on Facebook, and some other benefits. They do some free workshops, how to promote your small business. So we were really, I mean, there were some big chambers of commerce that were on there as partners, so we were really tickled that we were actually a named participant in that last year. We were able to work with David and the folks at the Knoxville Open to leverage, hopefully leverage the benefits that you're seeing for your sponsorship money that you're giving to the Knoxville Open, trying to get more of those folks to stay in Farragut, to eat in Farragut, and to shop in Farragut. We're also trying to promote the idea of what's behind the Beacon Award, and that is the positive business environment. We're doing that through a monthly column in the Farragut Press to either talks about a business success or gives some business advice or talks about the upcoming events and how folks can get involved, what makes Farragut great. Our e-newsletter distribution is up to over 700 people. Most of those are in Farragut, some of them are not, some of it's regional outreach as well. And also we're always making updates to our website. We now have the ability to do online ticketing. So just like last year, our Taste of Farragut tickets, actually they go on sale tomorrow online, so you can do that online. We've made some strides, I think, in partnering with the Farragut West Knox Chamber. We partnered with them on a couple of our forums. They helped sponsor Taste of Farragut last year, and I believe they're going to be on board again this year. And we've also been able to send them some members. We get a lot of calls to do things like ribbon cuttings from new businesses in town, and one of the first things I tell them is, this is our role, this is the chamber's role. We don't want to duplicate efforts. We want to fill the gaps. The chamber is great at coming out, doing ribbon cutting. Let's get you signed up as a member, and then let me help plug you in. Let me help get you involved in Shop Farragut. Let me help get you on some of the volunteer committees. So we're really trying to be cognizant of what the chamber does well and what we do well, and not duplicate those efforts and really drive folks where they need to go. David already referenced the Shop Farragut mobile app. I want to talk about that for just a minute. Obviously, the Shop Farragut campaign, we took over the traditional holiday campaign from the town. I believe last year we had 92 businesses that were participating. We also had a little mini back-to-school campaign this year. I would like to see that campaign much larger next year. We struggled to get coupons. We struggled. I mean, we have businesses in this community that are running specials on tax-free weekend anyway. They have coupons that are going in the newspaper. They have deals they're running. Give me what you're running and let me put it on the app. We're really trying to get them to make that connection and struggling with it a little bit, but it's something that I'm kind of a pit bull about at this point because it's making me mad. So we're gonna figure out a way to make that happen, by golly. It's just a no-brainer. I mean, it's free exposure. So we got to make that happen. As David said, we've spent, and this was as of the end of last year, over $27,000 to promote Shop Farragut between the app development, the paid advertising, and that's all kinds of advertising: television, radio, newspaper. Obviously, the extended signage opportunities, the fifth special event sign freebie that folks get as a participant in Shop Farragut has been very popular. We were able to work out some discounts for participants needing new signs because of the new signage ordinance that some of them had to adhere to this year. So we were able to, I think they were able to get a 20 square foot sign for like $160, and that was two-sided, full color. So we were able to negotiate those arrangements for them, and a lot of folks took advantage of it if you notice the new signs. Advertising in Shop Farragut, as far as the app and the website, completely free to Farragut businesses. Like I said, if they're doing any sort of advertising anyway, shoot me an email with a copy of the ad and let me upload it. It's a no-brainer, and we just need to figure out how to get folks to take advantage of it because we have over 2,000 subscribers between the app and the deal mails, which is the emails we send to folks who don't have a smartphone. The beauty of this number, it may not seem like a lot, but the beauty of this number is that they are self-identified subscribers. It's not folks that we've added to a list without their knowledge. These are folks who have gone in and said, I want to download the Shop Farragut mobile app. I want to receive deal mails. Please send them to me. So these are self-identified people who are interested in doing business in Farragut. And we just need to make the business community aware that we've got this pool of folks just waiting to hear from them. We are seeing cyclical participation. There are times when the coupon feature is really hot and heavy and I can't keep up with uploading them. But more so than not, people get a little complacent and I'm calling and begging my board members for coupons. So that is something, and really there's more than coupons to the app, but the coupon is really the value component that those self-identified subscribers are looking for. So we've got to have the rich content in the coupon function or they're just going to abandon the app, and we don't want that to happen. We've been really trying to support the town's business license initiative because we know it was somewhat controversial when it was passed, but we know it was passed for good reason. And what we're trying to do is help the town show value to the businesses of the business license program. So in order for somebody to get a free listing on our website, to participate in one of the free workshops that we do here, and we've done several of them, to qualify for a special event sign or a grand opening sign, or to participate in Shop Farragut, we are asking for that business license number. And I cannot tell you how many times that form has filled out and it's come back, and I have them call them and say, do you not have your business license? Or it's a number that I know is a Knox County license and not a Farragut license. Well, no, I don't. I said, okay, here's who you call, here's the form. And they're getting them. Y'all are getting them registered because they're trying to take advantage of some of these other benefits. So we're happy to partner with you guys on that. We're also providing communications support for it. We're trying to remind people of requirements in our newsletters. We're trying to give them access. We always provide links to the website, to the form. You know, how can you renew online? And, you know, when renewal time comes up, which it just did, you know, we did the outreach to try and remind folks that they needed to renew. And as a result, I received a lot of those renewals myself. So I forwarded them to the other Allison. But we got them, which is the point. As far as community events, we still have our big four. We're halfway through the year, thank God. Art in the Park was fabulous this year. We had record participation as far as the number of artists in the event. We also added a photography category this year, which went over really, really well, got a lot of traction in the media, even outside of Farragut, so we were pleased about that. We came up, the only event we really plan to make money on as a fundraiser is Taste of Farragut, but we came out, I think, about $1,200 in the black on Art in the Park. Red, white, and blues, completely different story. Usually we break even on that. If we're lucky, we're right, hover just above or just below that zero mark. The purpose of the event is to be there for the community, not to make money. But because of the weather this year and the fact that we waived admission in order to get folks in, we had media all over. We had all the television stations, the News Sentinel, the Farragut Press, the radio stations. They were all tweeting that we had waived admissions in order to get folks in. And we ended up having between 300 and 400 people. And the people who were there had a great time. But it wasn't the 1,500 we were anticipating. So we took a hit on Red, White, and Blues. And that is definitely an event that left us in the red. Taste of Farragut just around the corner. You will see a uniform look this year. You'll see a little more upscale. You'll see some exciting new features that we're bringing. And I'm not going to tell you a whole lot more about that because I want you to experience yourself and be surprised, but you'll enjoy it. And then, of course, Light the Park is on December 2nd this year. Sponsorship-wise, this is obviously an area where we need to really develop in order to be sustainable as an organization. This is not an inclusive list because other sponsors have come on since I initially developed this slide. But the point being, our sponsorship base is definitely growing. Big dollar-wise, we just got Costco as a silver level sponsor, which is a $2,000 a year sponsor. And we've got a couple other folks who are looking at some of the higher level sponsorships as well. The smaller sponsorships, even the $250 sponsorships are up, and every penny helps us with these events. And we try and give them good bang for their buck. I mean, we really try and promote them on the website. We try and promote them in print. We try and if we hear of a media opportunity that we think will help them, we try and forward that on. And the Shopper News, I'll say too, I know I've mentioned the Farragut Press a couple times, but I don't want to leave out the Shopper News because they've been fabulous supporters as well of both the Shop Farragut program and of getting the word out on some issues like the hotel motel tax and how that's going to be revisited. And some of the more technical news oriented sides of things they've been really good about picking up on, so we appreciate that. I will tell you, I mentioned earlier that some of the new businesses are already engaging with us. Costco, I mentioned, Longhorn Steakhouse was at Red, White, and Blues. They've already committed to Taste of Farragut as well. Publix has committed, Krispy Kreme, Orange Leaf, Zaxby's, Corks. So a lot of the new folks coming into town, we're trying to engage them as soon as they land. And I think we're doing a pretty good job with that. That being said, I could probably stand up here for another 15 or 20 minutes, but I know you probably wouldn't like that. So I'll be glad to take any questions, or I'm sure David would as well, if you have them.
I don't have any, but I want to tell you, you guys do a great job. I tell you, if you need to have more passion, though. It's not enough.
I'm shy, aren't I?
But, I appreciate the things that you continue to want to polish, and they are important things. But I tell you, I'm thrilled to death with what you guys do.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And Farragut has really migrated. I think I said this last year too. It's changed from being just a town to being a community. Mm-hmm. And the events that I see and the families that show up, the Christmas tree lighting, and I know this was not underneath your jurisdiction, but it's in the same vein. It was the book festival in the park.
Yep.
I mean, my goodness, home run. It's like walking into a Norman Rockwell painting.
You're right.
And I just applaud everything that you and David have done, obviously mostly you. And keep up the great work, and don't let that passion
Now
die.
he's going to yell at me later and
know,
make
but
me feel guilty.
I'll make him feel
what?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Do you have the date for the Taste of Farragut? I thought
It's-
while you've mentioned
yes.
it several times that
It's been in the newspaper. I apologize. It's September 27th. It's on our website. That is a Friday night, and it is an off Farragut football night. So there will be plenty of
So we can
parking
park.
across the street.
if you ever find a solution to apathy, it'd be great to know that because that's
Yeah, I
a challenge a
know.
lot of organizations have. And I was just curious about the advertising expense. I know there's always an immediate reaction to just spend more, and I was just curious, are there other organizations like yours around the country or any others that we might learn some best practices from? Surely other people have experienced similar kinds of things beyond the chamber role, but the kind of unique niche that you're filling for us to see, are there some things that could be learned, different ideas shared? I didn't know if there was anybody else kind of like you around the United States that we might learn from.
Actually, when I first started, a couple of you gave me some suggestions. I remember Gary specifically had told us about one of them. And at one point we were thinking about going to